Welcome back, you lovely weirdos. It's your number one fan nation coming to you today with a different type of video. The World Cup has just come to an end. As you can see, I still have my decorations up from the live stream and whatnot in the background, but I wanted to do this while it was still fresh in my noggin. And that is, I want to go ahead and look back at my personal top 10 moments or stories that really touched me, that really connected to me, the things that I'm definitely going to remember when I look back on the 2018 Russia World Cup. And yeah, I'm only doing 10, so I'm bound to miss like an amazing story here or there, so apologies if I missed your favorite moment or story. And also, I'm not going to rank these in a top 10 order. These are just the top 10 moments that stood out to me overall. So without further ado, please go ahead, smush your nipple into the like button, and let's begin. Moment number 10, the Mexican with 4 passes. Now this is easily the most heartbreaking tale of the Russia World Cup. Gilberto Martinez is a Mexican lawyer who wore 4 IDs around his neck the entirety of the Russia tournament, but he was there alone. Gilberto had planned a trip to Russia to watch the World Cup with himself, his wife, and his 2 children, Diego and Mia. But unfortunately, in April, right before the tournament began, tragedy struck. A car driven by his wife Veronica was struck by a 4x4, killing her and her 2 children passengers, Diego and Mia. Gilberto was devastated, but after seeking the advice of a psychiatrist, he was convinced to attend the World Cup and to wear all 4 IDs as tribute to his family. Gilberto was in attendance for Mexico's opening victory over Germany. After the game, he received a text message from the Mexican goalkeeper Ochoa, and it said, "That was for your family." And after the match, the Mexican team offered him a kit with all of their signatures. Gilberto would go on to watch a number of other matches. One especially touching was he went to go watch Brazil, as his son Diego said that he wanted to watch Neymar play. Japan, gracious even in defeat. Japan were a surprise to get out of the group stages, with a combination of technical ability, group pressing, and a little bit of set-piece magic made them a surprise darling of this tournament. In the round of 16, they had a tough draw up against Belgium, but they were not scared. No, indeed. And after 2 brilliant strikes, Japan found themselves up 2-0 to one of the powerhouses of the tournament. But sports can be cruel sometimes, and you guys probably all saw it. It was the match of the tournament. Belgium stormed back, not only tying it 2-2, but in the dying moments, the last kick of the game, winning it on a devastating counter. Japan and its fans were beyond distraught. But even after this devastating loss, Japan and their fans showed the world what true class is. Multiple videos surfaced of Japanese fans cleaning the stadium meticulously. The national team followed suit, cleaning the changing room, leaving it spotless. In fact, the only thing they left was a single note that said in Russian, "Thank you." And even in defeat, the Japanese national team returned home as heroes. And as a quick side note, Japan was not the only team and fan base to go ahead and clean up afterwards, as the Senegal fans and English fans were also seen cleaning up their areas after World Cup matches. Moment number 8. All the wacky moments that happened on the pitch. I'm throwing a bunch of them in here right now. To Neymar rolling around the pitch like a billion bajillion times. To Allison popping the balloon. The now iconic Michy Batshuayi kicking the ball off the post, then off of his face. Who could forget the failed front foot throw-in? And of course, my personal favorite, the one guard that was saying "fuck VAR." What a legend. There was a lot of brilliant football played on the pitch, but for my dollar, these are the moments that I remember from Russia with love. Moment number 7. Croatia's president is a national treasure and needs to be protected. Kolinda Grabar-Kitarovic, probably mispronouncing her name, but she is the first female president of Croatia. The president of Croatia gained mass notoriety when a photo of her went viral over Twitter and Instagram, supposedly of her in a bikini. It was not her, that was false. That's actually the wife of rapper Ice-T. Her name is Coco. You could look her up on your own time. But some thirsty-ass fans of the World Cup kept digging around, and we did actually find a photo of her in a bikini. And boy, is she just as thick. She has my vote. That's all I'm saying. But if it was just for Kolinda's thickness, she would have not made this list. No. It was her class that made me look beyond her, you know. It was her charm and spirit. She celebrated with the team after the semifinal victory. She was incredibly gracious in defeat, drenched in rain even though Putin had an umbrella. Come on, people, what are you doing? Her team had just lost in the World Cup final, and she was still out there smiling away, kissing the trophy, wiping away the tears of Luka Modric, and graciously shaking the hands of players from both sides. And what made her even more lovable was when reports came out that wherever she traveled, she only traveled in economy. She watched with the fans till recognized. She offered a VIP seat to one of the fans, and she had not taken pay for any of the days she did not work. She was an incredible ambassador for Croatia. She was an absolute treasure to watch at this World Cup, and I'm applying for Croatian citizenship after making this video. Moment number 6, Maradona's middle finger of God. Alright, let's be honest here. Maradona was honestly more entertaining than the actual Argentinian side at the 2018 World Cup. The man was a small, energetic hamster the entirety of the tournament. He had constant antics and was suspiciously energetic every single time we saw him. And I'm just gonna say it, put the kids away if they are watching it right now. I'm gonna give it to you straight, Chief. The man was coked out of his mind. Some people decried this man's clear drug problem as hideous, disgusting to show to the youth. But I myself, as an adult in 2018, thought it was hilarious to watch. From stealing away ladies from other delegations to salsa with them on live television, to doing the Wakanda Forever pose, and then one of the most iconic moments we will remember from this World Cup when he gave a double middle finger to the crowd, which was caught on live television. The legend of Maradona continues. And as a disclaimer, I do not endorse the use of cocaine, unless you are Maradona. Moment number 5. A blind and deaf man watches the World Cup. Another video that went viral over Instagram, Facebook, pretty much every social media platform out there, showed 2 Brazilian men. Helio, who helped his blind and deaf friend Carlos watch their national team Brazil play. Carlos was able to watch the World Cup through a system that him and Helio had devised, in which they positioned his hands on a miniature pitch and then used custom sign language and able to describe what was going on. Helio then went ahead and posted the video on YouTube, and quickly the story spread as one of the more heartwarming tales of this World Cup. But these 2 Brazilian men weren't the only ones. In fact, there were also 2 Colombian men who had devised a very similar strategy. Cesar Daza would help his blind friend, Jose Gallego, go ahead and watch their Colombian national team play using very similar tactics and a miniature pitch. There were 2 groups of friends that, even though that life had thrown them a little bit of a curveball, it didn't let them stop enjoying the game that they love. Moment number 4. Korea are invited to the carne asada. Let me set the scene for you. Sweden had just crushed Mexico 3-0. Mexico's only hope to get to the next round was for Korea not to lose to the defending champions Germany. Korea has nothing to play for. They've already been eliminated, while Germany had everything to play for. So what does Korea do? Simply, it finds a goal out of nowhere, and then soon after, Neuer, who's marauding up the pitch, gets caught out of his net, and then Son pounces on a counter, saving Mexico and ensuring their place in the round of 16, while simultaneously knocking out the defending world champions. And the Mexican fans responded by finding every Korean that they could and parading them on their shoulders outside of the stadium. This wasn't a singular event, as many Mexican fans went to the Korean consulate and asked for the Korean diplomat to go ahead and come outside and take tequila shots with them. And the memes were glorious. And it was just such a fun, heartwarming moment, showing that sports can truly bring people from all walks of life together. Speaking of bringing people together, moment number 8. Colombian and Mexican fans lift an Egyptian man in a wheelchair to watch the World Cup. An image says 1,000 words, and the picture of Colombian fans and Mexican fans holding up an Egyptian man in a wheelchair to watch the opening game of the World Cup in Russia said to the world that football is more than a sport. It has the power to bring together strangers from all walks of life, from all over the world, and show that we are brothers. The man's name was Hassan Setki, a 25-year-old master's student studying at the University of Texas. Setki described the amazing feeling of being raised to the sky. It was completely spontaneous. Nobody knew each other. One minute, everyone was dancing, and the next, I was up in the air, he said. Setki, who was involved in a car accident at the age of 18 that shattered his spine, has since founded a foundation to help the disabled. Asked about the picture, Setki said, "It's an incredible feeling to know that I'm sending a message to the whole world, and maybe potentially changing the perspective of other people. And it definitely was one of the most powerful images of this past World Cup. Moment number 9, it's coming home. I think for a lot of people who watch this, the majority of you will remember the 2018 World Cup as the World Cup that England refound their love for football. As an American and as a neutral, I must say it was quite refreshing. There had always been a thick layer of cynicism, of dread, when English fans talked about their national side. No matter the tournament, it always seemed like there was zero optimism. And after disappointing tournament after disappointing tournament of their supposed golden generation, who could blame them? So when the phrase "it's coming home" first began, even before the tournament, I think most people understood that it was sarcastic. This English side was a young side. It had none of the big names of the past. All of them were gone. And you very much could argue that this was the least talented English side that had gone to a major tournament in 30 years. But then the tournament began, and people started to quickly realize that this English squad wasn't the same English squad of years past, of tournaments past. There simply was a different energy about it. It was as if this inexperienced squad was actually too young to actually have all the cynicism, to have all the doubt of the previous teams. And that energy quickly became contagious. And what once started off as a meme became a movement. Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, everything from England was "it's a coming home" meme. People were clamoring for Gareth Southgate to become knighted. Waistcoat sales went up something like 35%. And yes, there were a couple of bad apples here and there. You guys did kind of trash up in IKEA. That was kind of fucked up. But for the most part, it was incredible as a neutral to watch a country rekindle its love for their national team. Restore their faith in something that they had held so dear for so long, but had hurt them so many times, so deeply. And even though that they fell agonizingly short of making their first World Cup final in over 30 years, England and all of the world will always remember the 2018 Russia World Cup for the phrase "it's coming home." And moment number 1 for me, Kante, the shy guy. Picture this: France had just won the World Cup, their second World Cup in their nation's history. N'Golo Kante was arguably their best midfielder the entirety of the tournament. And after winning the World Cup, reports came out that Steven Nzandi had to go ahead and ask certain members of the French squad to give N'Golo Kante an opportunity to hold onto the trophy because he knew that Kante was too shy to ask, and that Kante also didn't want to intrude on the joy of his other teammates. And that story is made even more powerful when you see this picture of young Kante as a child winning a trophy with his teammates and also being too shy to ask. A picture does really say 1,000 words. And the age of Instagram and YouTube and everything about your world is just the likes. It is brilliantly refreshing to have a hero like Kante. The man is a treasure, okay? He honestly, I think he's my new favorite player. Because look at him. Even after the World Cup, where is he? Is he dead and setter, making it all about himself? No, he's just over to the side celebrating with the team. Even after he got the opportunity to go ahead and have one picture with the trophy. Look at him. He's just cheesing. He's like, yeah, I did it. Thanks, guys. No extravagant pose. Just a humble thumbs up. And credit to the French team. You can see him, man. They're all over on the side, letting him get his one moment and gassing him up. And then in the locker room, they were singing his song. On the bus right back, they were singing his song. On the celebration the day after, Paul Pogba's leading the song, singing it for Kante. And you can see that he's just really embarrassed. He's blushing. He's like, oh no, guys. It wasn't me. It was a team effort. But to me, I still got to go back to this one image of young Kante. Too small, maybe too young, to go ahead and ask for his moment with the trophy. He's been shy and humble his whole entire life. And now, he's a world champion. And god damn it, we need more Kantes in the world. I'm not crying, you're crying. I know I'm a Manchester United fan, but from now on, man, I can't root against them. I'm gonna be a Kante fan the rest of my life. But yeah, those were the top 10 moments, stories that stood out for me at the 2018 World Cup. Let me know, guys, in the comments down below, what was your favorite moment from this past World Cup? What will you remember this World Cup from? If you did enjoy this video, it took me a really long time to, write this script and come up with all the graphics and all that stuff. So I'd really appreciate it if you could go ahead, leave a like on this. It helps me out. But yeah, that's it for me. If you would like to check out other oddball FIFA content, go ahead and click over here and take a look back at our prediction video where me and my girlfriend predicted the World Cup did not end well for us. Or if you would like to see some FIFA content, go ahead and click over here, Dingsy Poos, and that is my playthrough with Mexico on Legendary at the World Cup. But yeah, and also quickly update, this weekend, July 22nd, I will be attending the Manchester United versus San Jose Earthquake match at Levi Stadium. So you're over there, hit me up on Twitter, holla at your boy. But yeah, that's it from me, B-Monus. Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful day. Remember to stay yourself, stay humble, and until next time, stay thick.